This is really hard for me to say, but I think some of you guys were right. I think you were right, and I might have been wrong when it comes to trusting the process when you're starting out on a GLP-1 medication, or in my case, tirzepatide. Let me tell you what I mean, how we got here, and what I hope to do differently as I move forward on my Zepbound tirzepatide journey. If we haven't met yet, hi, my name is Megan. I'm a 42-year-old mom. I'm a wife. I'm a business owner. I'm a licensed counselor, but I'm not your licensed counselor. This is not medical advice. It's not mental health advice, but this is just me sharing my journey, what I'm learning along the way. I am a brand new baby bird when it comes to tirzepatide and weight loss medication in general. So this is just my experience. I'm sharing in real time my thoughts, my mistakes, my hopes, dreams, and my success, hopefully. So let's get into what is going on, what has been going on, and where we're headed. So I'm not going to get too deep into it. You can look at my previous videos if you want the history, but the long and short of it is that I have kind of been playing around with my dosing with tirzepatide. Even though I'm still in the new stages, I've been prescribed 2.5 milligrams. I have been playing around with lower doses, like you could call it micro doses of tirzepatide, because my first 2 weeks on branded Zepbound that I got through Eli Lilly Direct, those first 2 weeks, I lost a lot of weight. I lost like 2 pounds each week those first 2 weeks. And it was amazing. The appetite suppression was incredible. The side effects were tolerable. But then the third week, I also lost weight, but the side effects really spooked me after that third injection. And so what I ended up doing was going down to 1.5 milligrams to see what my lowest effective dose might be, because I've heard other creators, other doctors, not other doctors, I'm not a doctor, but I heard a doctor who was on a GLP-1 himself say that for him, he was able to lose over 100 pounds microdosing, less than 2.5 milligrams a week. And so I was like, well, I'm responding well to the 2.5, but the side effects were bad. So maybe that's just a higher dose than I need. Maybe 1.5 could be the lowest effective dose for me. It was not. Okay, it was not. My appetite suppression disappeared. I think I lost like less than half a pound that week, and my food noise was back with a vengeance. So then I thought, well, maybe I'll try 2 milligrams. Maybe 2 milligrams would be the lowest effective dose for me. It was not. Again, I lost minimal weight. I think again, maybe a pound that first time, and then less than a pound the second week. But anyway, long story short, the weight loss slowed down, which I know it may anyway, but it slowed down. The appetite suppression was not as strong, and the food noise continued. Fine. Then I got compounded tirzepatide. I just tried my first shot of compounded tirzepatide through Good Life telehealth. The medication I got is pure tirzepatide, no B vitamins added, through Hallandale Pharmacy. I tried that, and I was still nervous to go all the way back up to 2.5, so I did 2.3 milligrams. And again, the appetite suppression just not as strong as those first 2 weeks on the 2.5. So I guess what I'm here to say is that maybe some of the feedback I got that I was not happy about, but some of the feedback that I got from some viewers early on when I started talking about all of this, and sharing sort of my overthinking, right? My thought process, my desire to sort of experiment and play around with lower doses. Maybe that feedback to just stop and trust the process and just stick with the 2.5. Maybe I should have listened. Maybe I should have listened. I don't know. I don't know. So here's what my thoughts are. I think I now have a better understanding of where those people were coming from than I did a couple of weeks ago, when people were saying, hey, you got to trust the process, suck it up with the side effects, like just get through it. It will figure itself out. It will even out over time, right? I think I understand that better, because that's sort of where I'm coming to now in real time is, and I'll tell you why I came to that conclusion, or I am at that point right now. Maybe that's not an end conclusion per se. I can always evolve. My thoughts can always change. But right now it's sort of like, yeah, I do need to maybe suck it up a little bit more with the side effects in order to get the most benefit out of the medication, in order to get the most appetite suppression and the most reduction in my food noise. And here's where the mindset shift actually came from, and the mantra that I'm sort of trying to use now when I do experience side effects that will hopefully carry me through into the future as I do continue, like I'll go back up to the full 2.5 and will continue to increase as needed. So I had an appointment with a hematologist this week. When I went to my primary care doctor for my annual wellness exam in December of just last month, my doctor ordered labs and my labs came back a little concerning. I had, the high cholesterol, high triglycerides, but I also had high white blood cell count, like just slightly elevated. I think the upper limit of normal is about 10 or 9 point something, and mine are at about 11. So this has been going on for the past several years, where they've been above that normal range. Now, I've had a lot of health issues over the last couple of years, but now it's still elevated and I'm allegedly fine. So what is going on? What the hematologist told me when he saw that I was on Zepbound is that he was happy for me that I'm on Zepbound, because he said a lot of why I might be having this elevated white blood cell count and inflammation could be, he's not sure yet, we have to do more testing, and I'll go back in 6 months, but he said what could be happening is that because I am overweight, and I'm in the obesity range based on my BMI, because I'm in that range and I have probably undiagnosed sleep apnea, because he asked me, do I snore? Does my husband complain of me snoring? I said yes. My mom also has severe sleep apnea. Like, it probably just runs in our family. But he's like, okay, so you're overweight. You are snoring a lot at night, which means you're probably not getting a lot of oxygen at night, which means you're probably not getting a lot of good deep sleep at night, which means your body is stressed, which then also is contributing to why you have high blood pressure, right? Because I consistently have higher blood pressure than is normal. And he's like, that all kind of is one big ball of reason why you might have inflammation. So his point of view, his theory is that if I lose a significant amount of weight in the next 6 months, then hopefully my breathing at night will improve. Hopefully my sleep will improve. Hopefully my blood pressure will improve and get back to normal levels. And then when all of that is sort of within more normal range, my inflammation in my body should be reduced, which means my white blood cell count will hopefully go back to normal. So, and then on top of that, I mean, he didn't get into this, but on top of that, hopefully also my triglycerides, my cholesterol, like all of that will also get back into normal range. So what that did for me and my mindset as I'm approaching this medication is help me to cope better with the idea that I will probably have some side effects along the way, that I'm not going to always feel fantastic as I'm on this medication. However, if I think back to before I started the medication, I was already not feeling 100% fantastic all the time. I was already having days where my blood pressure was elevated and I felt it in my head. I was already having experiences where I was having anxiety or even panic attacks occasionally. So for me, what I think I need to do is just coach myself through my fears, which is what I did back in 2020 when I was having severe panic attacks every night. I just need to coach myself through these fears and the anxiety I have around the medication, around potential side effects, and just say, okay, are these side effects things that I can live with, right? Are these things I can live with right now until I'm feeling healthier, until I am at a better weight for my body? And the answer to that, when I really look at the facts, is yeah. I bought a bunch of ginger chews. I bought ginger tea. I bought lemon tea to help me with feeling nauseous. I have Tums. I have Pepcid AC. I have omeprazole if I need to deal with any acid reflux that I might have. When it comes to headaches, I've heard from other creators, like, don't suffer through headaches. Like, make sure you're hydrated. Make sure that you are getting enough electrolytes if that's something that you need. And if you need a Tylenol, take a Tylenol. If you need an Advil, take an Advil. So for me, with high blood pressure, I try not to take Advil, but I can take a Tylenol when I have a headache. Not a big deal. So, and then with the constipation, I've been drinking some prune juice. I'm trying to take some extra magnesium. These are all things that I can do proactively to manage some of the more common side effects, the less severe side effects. And if I have another episode like I did after that week 3 shot, where I felt like my blood sugar was low, my blood pressure was low, I felt like I was a little bit dizzy, if that happens again, then what I can tell myself is I am okay. I can take a break. I can stop working if I'm at work. I can give myself permission to take care of myself. And I know that it will pass. I can eat a protein bar. I can eat a piece of fruit if I need to at that time to get my blood sugar where it needs to be. That's not something I track, by the way. I don't monitor my blood sugar. Maybe I should. But that's just sort of how I felt in that moment, that it was low. I don't know. And I felt better after I ate a protein bar. So, but you know what I mean? Like, I think I just need to coach myself better and be more mindful in those moments and to trust myself that I will be okay, and trust my body that it will be okay. And it has been in the past. My body has been through these things. I have felt these things before. I've had these side effects before. And every single time I have recovered. I have felt better. It has passed, right? It's not something where I'm going to feel like this day after day after day after day, right? So if those side effects are because of the medication, the pattern that I've noticed is that on the 3rd day after the injection, if I'm going to have bad side effects, that's when they come. And acknowledge that, understand it, and then tell myself, it's okay. Tomorrow it will be better. And honestly, 10 out of 10 times so far, that has been true. The next day, it has been better. And in that moment, in the meantime, honoring my body, doing what I need to do to take care of myself, taking a break if I need to take a break, stepping away if I'm with people, right? Just politely finishing what I need to do and go sit down and take care of what I need to do. So that's where I'm at today. That's where I'm at today as of, Friday, January 30th. I'm not, I'm going to try and be mindful of not making like big sweeping declarations of like, this is what I'm doing next and this is the way to do it. I was just watching Allie on Fit Flavor. I keep wanting to call her Flip Flavor Fun, but Allie on Fit Flavor Fun. She has an older video that I just watched where she was talking about these trends of different creators, and like she was kind of critiquing different creators and sort of these tropes and these things that people fall into as they're producing videos about GLP-1 medication. And one of the things that she said that I'm just really going to try to take to heart, while I'm thinking about it, is for new people who are newbies, tirzepatide newbie here, don't start giving advice, right? Don't start putting yourself in an expert chair when making these kind of videos. Focus on just sharing your own experience and your own journey, and just go for the ride. Bring your new friends here on the internet along for your ride, right? So that is my intention. This is really kind of a video journal for me and for you of my thought process as I go through this, as somebody who has anxiety and severe health anxiety, especially somebody who has ADHD, and somebody who likes to think about things. I like to overthink things. I like to, play around with things. I like to experiment. And I think that's fine. That is still fine. I still plan to, if I do go up in dose in the next few weeks to a 5 milligram dose, whenever it's the time for that, I do fully intend to do that slowly, right? To titrate up slowly in increments rather than just jump from 2.5 to 5. Is that right? Is that wrong? I don't know. I just know for me, I would like to be as conservative as possible rather than make these dramatic jumps. But I think what has changed for me over the last couple of weeks, after having experimented with going down in dose to see what I could do for my lowest effective dose, is that I think I can tolerate a little more than I'm giving myself credit for. I can tolerate a little more than I'm giving myself credit for. So I should be a little more open to just doing the standard of care, right? The 2.5. I should be open to doing that. And then, like I said, eventually going up to 5 milligrams, if that's the next logical step, if the hunger and the food noise is not going down. And I want to be a little more aggressive, right? I want to be conservative. I don't want to have horrible side effects that are going to make me want to quit. But I do need to trust the process a little more, because I do want to get healthy as quickly as possible, right? For me, it's not about how I'm going to look in my clothes so much, although that would be nice to feel more confident physically. It's not about the number on the scale necessarily, but it really is like, I want to get healthy as soon as possible. I want to have my lab work in 6 months look good. I want everything to be in that normal range. I want to be able to have normal blood pressure without, I hate to say without relying on medication, because I'm okay with relying on medication if I need it, right? I need it. I've needed it for the last few years. I need tirzepatide to be able to lose weight more effectively, more efficiently. But if tirzepatide can be the one medication I'm on where it is helping me with all these other parts of my health, that would be ideal, right? So the better I can feel, the healthier I can get, the better cardiovascular health I can have. Those are my goals. And so I think I can push through a little bit more and coach myself through the anxiety that I have around the side effects and around what's happening to my body, right? I can tell myself there are things I can do to feel better. And ultimately, once I have lost more weight, I will feel better overall. My quality of life is going to improve. The faster I can get there, the better. So this is worth it. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I hope that made sense. It felt a little rambly, but let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on this and what you think about experimenting with doses, what you think about compounding versus going with Eli Lilly Direct or NoroDisc or Novo Disc, whatever. I don't know. Whatever it is for semaglutide. But just let me know. Yeah, what is this journey been like for you? Have you been somebody who's just kind of stuck with it all along, just the 2.5, 5, 7.5, 10, blah, blah, blah. Like, have you just followed along and not really done any experimentation, any titrating, or like slow titrating, gentle titrating, however you want to call it? Or are you somebody who's a little more like me, who's kind of wanting to ease your way into it a little bit more to reduce side effects? So let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I will have my weigh-in video out for you tomorrow to let you know how this week went, and also to let you know what I'm doing with my dosing schedule, because I am still experimenting with that, because of course I am. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. All right, guys. Bye.